Who'd you pay off?
I used a time honored technique.
Did you get a big fucking hammer?
No, I just kept clicking buttons until
Something happens.
A happy clicker. Ugh.
all right. It brought the Facebook page up, but I don't see the live stream.
So I see the tattoo convention is a definite go. Since it's
It looks that way.
on the website and all that.
I want more tattoos.
I always want more, but then, and I'm not saying it's not worth it, but whenever they give me a price, I'm like, yeah, I don't feel like spending that much. And then I'll go, I'll spend that much money on something like that won't even last as long as a tattoo.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with tacos.
Did they pick a location?
The Battleship, New
And
Jersey.
We are live. Okay.
Madison, New Jersey.
Yes. I'm not sure. I don't think they have a definitive. Did they have a date on there? Not yet. Yeah, there's no date set up, but I guess what they want to do is probably find out how many tattoo artists and all, are going to participate. There's not much of a convention if you only got like 5 people.
You're right.
So hopefully it's a good showing.
All right. Looks like we are live.
You call it a battleship. I say it's fucking bigger than my hometown. It's a damn city.
Where are you again, Jeremy?
Now I'm in Nevada.
Nevada. Okay.
Yeah. Previously from a dot on a wall in Washington State called Centralia, literally the center point between Portland and Seattle.
Okay.
The only reason we make that town makes national news, yeah, it floods, the freeway disappears. It's a magic trick. 5 miles of freeway, gone. And then it's back. And then it's gone. They haven't figured that out yet. Damn plumbing.
All right. Even the chat's working tonight. I am proud of myself.
So you're saying it's going to be the 4 of us?
Oh, no. Well, there may be more.
Right, but everything's working.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's going to be the 4 of us tonight?
Oh,
damn.
There we go.
Damn.
All right. Blue Rose is here.
That was like she heard you or something.
Perfect time.
Hey, Rose.
Everybody run.
Rose.
5-0.
All right.
Okay. All right. We are live, Rose.
So, any of you guys ever hear of Uranus, Missouri?
Yep.
There's this
Nope.
neat. I was just.
signs for Uranus, Missouri. And before you think, come on, Jared, you're better than that, you're right, I am. But they are not. 20 miles, there's these billboards that say things like big fun waiting in Uranus, live bait in Uranus. Their main attraction, the thing that they want you to pull off the highway for, is a fudge factory. The Uranus Fudge Factory. The slogan on the billboards is, the best fudge comes from Uranus. And if you think for a second that's going to make me pull off the road and add an hour to my trip to go buy some fudge,
The guy actually bought a sweatshirt and fudge. And he's like, That's some damn good fudge.
I know multitude of people that have bought just for the name.
I don't doubt it. Just like,
Like-
Fort Dix.
Like Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to go over the rules real quick for whoever is watching on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Periscope, and the other 3 places we stream to. We don't have a lot of rules, but no isms, no racism, sexism, or discrimination. That will get you booted real quick. If we want others to respect us, we have to respect others and ourselves. We do try and steer clear of politics and religion, as they are sometimes triggering. We try really, really hard. Honestly, we do. No interruptions when someone's telling their story. Don't interrupt. It may be the first time they've been able to talk about it out loud. Obviously, no diagnosing. Usually, we don't have anybody in here that's trained to diagnose. And even when we do, this isn't the time or place. So just don't do it. You can tell people what works for you. We probably, when you get a good crowd in here, you probably had somebody that has been through every kind of therapy there is. At least one person, unless they developed it in the past week, will have had some experience with it and can tell you a little bit about it. Respect the moderator. I think I'm the only one on here tonight. So I'm going to try and keep the conversation going in a good direction. And that is pretty much it. So I'm going to start on my grid with John. How you doing tonight, John?
I'm
yellow,
green all the way. Yeah, green, good.
That's good.
Things are coming together.
That's good. I don't think we hear that often enough.
It's just working out. Like I told you, I had contractors in there today, and they did a beautiful job. And that was kind of like I told you earlier, not quite certain who's going to come through that door to do the work. And they came in on early, cleaned up, cleaned things, did a nice job. Extra effort makes things easier. And they actually lowered the bill.
Oh, that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the garage I usually take my car to.
Yep.
They have never been anywhere close to the estimate ever. It's like, they tell me, well, it's going to be about, $1,200, and they go in, it's like, oh, it was 800.
Yep.
I'm like, how? He goes, we always go with the worst case scenario. He said, because people get really upset when you call them up and say, it's going to be $400 more than we told you. He said, but nobody ever complains when it's $400 less. So
Yeah.
he says, we go worst case. And then if we get lucky, everybody's happy. Sean, how about you?
I'm yellow green. Today I didn't sleep well at all last night, which kind of just had me in a mood all day. But honestly, things are picking up, heading out of that rut that had me feeling red and like dark yellow.
It's good though.
Yeah.
Are you still having the dreams?
Yeah. It's crazy. They upped one of my medications to try and help with the nightmares, but I mean, I don't understand how a medication can stop your subconscious, So, but
Yeah, sometimes I wake up, had this dream I married this beautiful blonde, and then I have to reach over and make sure she's still in bed next to me. Jeremy, how about you?
Uh,
didn't have-
yellow, I'd say medium yellow.
I did not have not one of your posts pop up on my feed today.
Been working on hardware.
Mm.
Hopefully within the week, all workstations will be up and running to where just trying to get my hand. So I have extreme severe multiple sclerosis, resulting in loss of fine motor skills. And as you can hear from my talking, I'm a little off today, but I have to program the automation for the workstations. That way, since I don't have any physical help around here, and Bruno, I know you are starting to catch on to everything that I've been working on. I don't know if
It
the
just
other
took me a
gentlemen
while.
have. I know I suck at explaining shit.
No, I don't think that was it.
No.
I think it was me.
Well, I suck at things anyways. I've been informed. I was informed in the Army. I'm extremely knowledgeable with a complete lack of tact. I still didn't understand that, but whatever.
Sounds like most of us.
Yeah, pretty much.
I ran into people just like me. Unfortunately, just like me, they never got rank, but we got the shit done.
Yes, apparently if you tell an attorney he's a horse's ass, it qualifies as lack of tact.
See,
I could see how that would happen.
yeah,
I
could see that.
I did it in such a nice way, though.
No,
I told him
not
just
really
because
a nice way.
I said, Counselor, it says Esquire after your name. The Esk is for equine. Squire is what walks behind the equine. So,
Oh,
figure
he
it
went
out.
there.
yeah, I did go there.
He,
I thought
so
that was very tactful.
that joke is told. I used to work for a law firm as a file clerk and runner. Basically, hey, I can read the alphabet and I can put something in the proper alphabet labeled folder. Yay. Disabilities suck. But being there, yeah, every lawyer in the building had Esquire after their name. And every one of them got told that exact same statement.
That's because that's how they behave. Not all of them, but
I mean, all of them at one point or another, maybe. Maybe not
Thank
all
you.
the time. But
there's some
They're
that are
kinda-
really
they're-
nice.
they're kind of like us. They have their moments.
Yeah,
But some are just that way, period.
yeah, and that's the problem. And I always seem to get that kind, or more than my fair share of that kind. I think it was because they knew I didn't have any trouble telling them off, so everybody would send them to me. But and my boss said I did take a little too much pleasure out of putting them in their places sometimes. But Rose,
But
how
no.
about you?
Oh.
Red, yellow, green.
I'm pretty much the same. I'm sick again. I don't know if I'm got the same thing and it's just not going away, or if I'm just having bad luck and getting better for a week and then catching it something else. I don't know. But this time I have fever, so
Well, last time I felt really bad. Turned out I had COVID again. So
I took the test at home. It said no, so I don't know.
yeah, mine came up positive so fast it wasn't even funny. The next day I was on that Paloxavid, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a stroke this time, so I took that as a plus.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
But then even
Have
after
a
I was
stroke.
I'm
over,
good.
The last 2 times I've just been like, I just felt bad. I didn't have a cough or anything. Now I have all of it. I have a cough. I'm congested. I'm running a fever.
yeah, my
And then I'm-
sinuses.
Yes. And
but-
yet I'm still out here. Like I'm just indestructible.
Y'all make me feel really bad.
Why?
I haven't, the last illness I had beyond multiple sclerosis was shingles back in 2010. I haven't had a flu, common cold, or anything since Iraq. I've had no vaccines, no nothing. And I have been exposed to everything. And well, yeah, I don't get sick. I am sick. That's why I feel bad hearing you guys always getting sick. And it's like,
Well,
Yeah,
the bad part is up until this year, or I'll say last year, middle of last year, it'd been 5 years or better since I had even a cold. And then now I've had, since the beginning of this year, this is the 3rd time. Now I just don't understand it. I take vitamins. I take all the stuff I'm supposed to. I haven't touched anybody. Like, it's been really, thought that maybe I interacted with somebody, but I kept thinking, and nobody I dealt with seemed like they were sick or anything. So, I don't know.
Sometimes I think it's just in the air.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe it's just because, like, right now the flu's going around, and the fact that our weather is, jacket on, jacket off, jacket on, jacket off all day long. I mean, all week we've had weather's gone in the last 7 days from in the 40s to the 80s.
Yeah, that's kind of weird the way that's been doing.
that was the one good thing about Washington State. Average annual temperature, 68 degrees.
Yeah, Washington's great. Like, once you get
Well,
used to the constant rain.
The west side of the state. Got to make sure to say the west side, because if you're on the east side, yeah, that's desert.
Yeah. Washington State is nice. It's just it rains all the time.
And now weed is legal everywhere.
In
And on sale.
Washington?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. It's easier to find than McDonald's. Not as easy as a coffee stand, but easier than McDonald's.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about it.
Yeah, I'm with you, Bruno.
I love that the Liquor Control Board complained that their sales went down.
I guess it did.
Sales went down, and oh yeah, DUIs went down. Wonder why.
Because there ain't no quick, easy way to check if you're high on pot.
Colorado's pretty much got that figured out.
Yeah, and so does Washington, Oregon. They got that shit figured out down to the T, because medical marijuana was legal beforehand.
Right.
Yeah, there's got to be some kind of like
There
on
is
the
a way.
spot
There is
test.
a test. There is a test.
Yeah.
it's this it's kind of like for DUIs, at least here in Jersey, Bruno, like there are some tests that you give that are enough to get you back to the station. And then they're called DRE, drug recognition experts, make a determination if they feel you're under the influence due to some type of drug.
Well, no, a DRE. A DRE is right. What you said, a drug recognition expert. But what they do is they determine your level of impairment based on what they believe you have taken off of your physiological symptoms. So marijuana does not give you nystagmus, but it messes with other features of you. So there are actual, like, I'm sorry, hold on.
Yeah, I think there's got to be some kind of
Motor
chemical test.
function.
There is a test that Colorado Highway Patrol has that they've been using to determine when was the last time they used. And if it was within a certain amount of time of them driving, they're issued a DUI. Because DUIs do not stand for driving under intoxication, is under impairment. You can be impaired and not be under alcohol or drugs. You can be impaired and just be tired.
Well,
Yeah.
driving under the influence.
No, they've pretty much moved away from
Driving
all
while
of those
impaired.
other words. It's
No. In Washington State, driving under the influence is on the sign on the freeway still.
well, I believe it. I'm just saying
Yeah.
the national program has tried to get away from labeling it that way so that they can basically go off of impairment.
Right. They want the national government, because marijuana, all the advocates are trying to nationalize it instead of states individually doing it. They have to figure it out at the national level. It's been an interesting thing watching the legislation on it all. But the taxes that come from marijuana, oh boy, it flipped Colorado's deficit.
Yeah, the end game is always, how is the government going to make money out of something?
Well, the government will make money. The only people who won't, big pharma.
They make enough money. They don't need any more.
See, marijuana started cutting away at their bottom line. It was marijuana is cheaper.
But
Oh, cute puppy time. We got a visitor.
you bringing him to the retreat?
Yes. Yeah, I don't go anywhere without her. I may go in places like if I know I'm going in some place, the only person I'm gonna interact with is, say, a secretary, like just one person, and I know I'm gonna be in and out, then I'll leave her in the vehicle. But if I'm spending any period of time anywhere, she's with me.
How long have you had her?
Well, she's 2 years and a couple months, and we've had her since she was 5 weeks old.
Okay.
Rose, you're the boss.
Because she's still on the job. She's got to know all that stuff.
She in Colorado?
Louisiana, I think.
I actually voted here in New Jersey for it to become legal because for the most part, I felt it was a waste of time, for us to be busting people, little, a joint's worth of weed and stuff like that. But I regret voting for it to become legal because now you can't go anywhere without smelling it. You know, it wasn't bad when you can only smell it here and there, but now everywhere you go, you smell it.
It's legal in New Jersey
Yes.
for recreational.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I am in Louisiana. I'm sorry, I was coughing. I couldn't unmute.
No problem.
But that the only reason I showed you Colorado is because that's what Louisiana is trying to, as far as I understand it. They're studying how they are doing all of that to try and maybe
Mimic.
mimic what they have put in place, because obviously we've decriminalized it, but we haven't made it legal yet. And when that happens, let's be honest, New Orleans is going to be the big concern, right? So they're trying to figure out how to get ahead of it before they actually do it.
Yeah, I would think there would be some kind of like finger stick blood test like you do for
Well, they can use saliva. So you get an instant reading based off of the saliva. It's like a swab, as far as I understand it. They put it in your mouth. If you refuse, then it's an automatic DUI. But if you let them and you're under the 5 nanograms per milliliter, whatever it is, that they decide here. I mean, that's Colorado's, but whatever they decide here, if you're under that based off of that initial test, then it's, and this isn't in place yet, but as far as what they were talking, or at least what I've heard they were talking, is that if you're under that, then it'll be discretionary whether or not we try to do anything past that, or if we allow you to get a ride home, or if you're over that, then we can go to the next level, go ahead and grab blood, have that sent off to be tested. And then when it goes to the DA, they decide based off of the 2 tests whether or not they want to prosecute.
And that is why I don't drive anymore. I get tested, I'm going straight to jail.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, you're a little bit different.
Yeah, I try not to drive. If my grandson's going with me, I usually make him drive now.
I quit driving back in 2018. I can't feel my legs, can't control my feet. I'm good.
I mean, but don't they have stuff for that where like but you don't have a lot of control over your arms and hands either, huh?
Nope.
Yeah.
He needs one of those self-driving cars so he can just tell it turn left, turn right.
No,
Or just
I'm
put
good.
the GPS in and let it do its thing.
No, I have my manual wheelchair that I can do. I think last time I was clocked 11 miles an hour. I've got a power assist that attaches to it that adds another 12 miles an hour. So I can do 25 miles an hour in my manual wheelchair. I'm good. I ain't hauling nobody around.
That is wild.
What?
That you can go that fast in a manual wheelchair.
Well, the chair's made out of titanium, and instead of caster wheels, it's got rollerblade speed skate wheels.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, I put the rollerblade wheels on my office chair. Took a little getting used to.
I bet it did.
That's what the chairs in my house have as well. And well, I'm gonna admit a caregiver or two have busted their asses.
I don't know. It moves really
That's
nice
just
now,
free,
though.
but that's just free entertainment right there.
It was for a little bit.
Hey, I warned them. Chair moves quick.
But yeah, this should be this coming weekend's going to be rough. But I don't think I have anything after that for a little while. And then I am going to the retreat this year, the one in March,
Nice.
because it's not so cold that it's going to bother me. It's not so hot that I'm going to have to worry about passing out. So
Right.
That's the small one, right? That's the
yeah,
intermittent one.
yeah, I gotta see. I told TJ, see if somebody wants to drive up with me, because my wife doesn't want me driving alone. If not, I don't know, get a crash test dummy or something and put it in the seat next to me.
Okay, who votes for the blow up doll?
I vote. I'm in. You
We
gotta
got
put a
2
hat
votes.
on her though. You gotta put a hat on her though.
What kind of hat?
I don't know. Maybe one of them big frilly ones like they wear in church.
The red one.
Yeah, like the driving Miss Daisy hats.
Oh, this is getting twisted quickly.
Ooh, I got it. My grandson has a full size skeleton.
As
That
long
works.
as you just tie a board around its neck that says "Other Doug" or just Doug.
Well, its name is Scully.
Right, but it could pose as Doug for a ride, and if you get pulled over, you could just say he finally escaped, and you're giving him a ride.
Say it's Bernie.
Oh, that's
That's what I was thinking. Burn.
That was a good movie.
It was. It really was.
Hmm.
It was a bit morbid, but it was really good. Kids nowadays couldn't watch that.
Well, I got a note. I don't know if it came from Project Refit, so I don't know if it was from Dan or from Corbett. saying that they're going to be one.
dun dun dun. News at 11.
But
We got a topic tonight.
Ooh. Anybody see anything about Ohio?
That has already been fully politicized,
No,
as has shooting down weather balloons.
Oh, I'm still trying to figure out how the hell does a weather balloon get to? Yeah,
I hate not watching the news. Like I stopped watching it, ever since Trump's like third month in office, because it would upset me to watch. And but I always feel out of the loop. Like evidently a UFO's been spotted somewhere.
Well, they were Chinese weather balloons, and some of the media was referring to them as spy balloons, and they should have been shot down as soon as they came into our airspace, and they weren't. And then I saw a picture of the Goodyear blimp, and underneath in that panel where they put messages, it said, "Please don't shoot."
yes.
But yeah, I mean, even with those balloons,
That's awesome.
Like you said, Bruno, they politicize it, but then, there's just so much going on that like, you never know what to believe anymore. Supposedly there's been like, is it 4 or 5 chemical derailments, whatever's going on with the chickens. Just
so
craziness.
the derailments were said to have not been, they were classified as non-critical, I think is what it was. And they were saying that basically it was being done so that they didn't have to initiate a full-on cleanup the way that it should be being done. And I have to be careful how I comment on this. Anyway, so the chickens are coming in because people's pets and animals and livestock are just turning up dead by morning in certain areas. And it's, if you map it all out, it's where seepage is going. So it, you know, depending on weather or whatever, it's pushing whatever the chemicals were that way, and it's happening. So they're having to defend themselves, the government, I mean, and they're just not, in my opinion, they're not doing a very good job of it.
They don't have a defense.
Right. And that's what I was about to say, because what they're doing is just, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think like they don't have to do a good job of it anymore. You know, I mean, I heard, again, I don't know, and you never know where to get the truth, but supposedly one of the trains was carrying chemicals that were used for chemical warfare during World War II. Again, I don't know if that's conspiracy theory. You know, you never know where to get the truth anymore. And it's just sad.
Well, the reason I asked about Ohio, and that's the train derailment that Rose is talking about. My ex-wife's family is in Columbus. My son still goes back and forth from Tennessee. The train was carrying manufactured chemicals, which whoever was in charge.
Vinyl chloride. It was carrying vinyl chloride.
Right. And as Rose said, they decided to burn off and let loose instead of proper cleanup, which that's not conspiracy. That's, hi, I'm the DOT EPA environmental quality officer guy that knows for certain they didn't follow the federal CFR that regulates exactly what they were supposed to do. Sorry, that's a very touchy subject for me because they're going exactly against my old job.
Yeah, you and I both have that same background, which is why I said I have to be careful how I comment, because not everybody understands what we talk about when we start talking that way. But there are certain chemicals that create other chemicals depending on what the environment they are introduced into. So when the derailment happened and the vinyl chloride was spilled, it caused a problem that they did not acknowledge. And now that problem has complicated everybody's environment, where the wind took it.
And also, so when they did the burn off, the chloride, when temperature and heat is applied, it manifests into an aerosolized. That's where I've watched several interviews and have even contacted people in that area because, yeah, shit that they're going through is what I went through in Iraq.
Right. Well, somebody said that it created a hydrochloric acid cloud. But,
yep.
And if that's the truth, like, I mean, I wasn't around, so I don't know. But if that's the truth, then there's a lot more that needed to be done than what was done so far. But, and you have to take a step back also and say, the media never, and I mean that word deliberately, never reports the way it's supposed, or the way it actually happened. So if we're getting that, you can't really be sure of what they have and haven't done.
Rose, when I say technical transport of hazmat, that's where just watching videos, the trains were the container cars that they allowed liquids to come out, and you said the chloride, it's placarded. If you look it up in 49 CFR, they did exactly the wrong thing.
Oh no, I agree with that part. But what I'm saying is after what has been done so far to try to do the cleanup, now that all the mistakes have been made, and that's typical, US government, they make the mistakes and then they react. They're not proactive, they're reactive. That's kind of just the way it's always been. So if we are going to criticize them, you kind of can't trust the media to give you the good information. I mean, I'm not being ugly, I'm just saying they never ever, and I mean that, never ever tell the whole truth.
Absolutely not. So I got to call the source. Watch it yourself. Moderator, topic.
Oh, let's see. TJ, how you doing? Well, I'm thinking about it.
Good save.
I know I need another second or two to think.
He's on a phone call.
Ah, okay. Let's see. What would be a good topic?
Were you asking or just thinking out loud?
Oh, both.
1, 2, 3, not it.
Well, tomorrow I gotta take my mom some stuff, so I'm gonna. It'll be the first time that I'm going to her place since I've decided to set ground rules with her and everything. So it's going to be interesting.
I think you'll do okay.
I've been praying a lot about it. It's crazy because and I don't know how anybody feels about this, but one of the things I told her, one of my ground rules was for her to not tell me that she loves me because she doesn't make me feel like she loves me. And it's something stupid, but I get angry because when she sends me a text message, she says, "Love you." And I'm like, no, I mean, you don't, because if you did, we'd spend more time together than me just bringing you stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm only talking because everybody was so doggone quiet and everything.
Yeah, it's
and, we had to get away from the
Yes.
Sean, I agree
bad
with you.
government policies.
yeah.
Sean, I agree with you because people use that word love, and it, like you said, there's no manifestation of it. When you really need somebody, they're not there.
Right.
I actually told my neighbor that. I said, I don't use love. If I don't love you, I'm not going to say I love you.
Right.
Not, all right. But if I say I love you, I'm willing to make the sacrifice and help you in any way I can. So that I'm willing to go there, but I'm not going to use it because I'm just like you, like, yeah.
It's been real kind of morbid for me lately too, because now Thursday I had to take off from work because she's having a pacemaker put in. And I kind of hope nobody's watching that knows me, but like one of the thoughts running through my head is she better not die during the surgery because I took a day off without pay, to go do this. And I mean, it sounds harsh, but, I don't know, man, in a way, and not that I wish that she would pass away, because I know that's going to eat me up alive, that we weren't on good terms, even though I know that, I did what I could do, maybe not all that I could do, but I feel that I gave more of an olive branch than she ever did. And it's crazy, man, I've grown so distant from my parents. And I hate it because I think that's had an adverse effect to where, and don't get me wrong, I love my wife and daughter with all my heart, but like when I would deploy, yeah, it was sad, but I was okay when I left, there's a part of me that sets up barriers because I don't want to feel the hurt that I feel because I'm not close with my parents. Like I get mad at people that they have good relationships with their parents. I'm like, you fucking jerk. Ooh, you stinking jerk. How dare you have a good relationship, But I meant to ask.
Lots of times they take it for granted.
Yeah.
They take that relationship like you'd want, that we all want, and they just have it and they don't realize it. Like the guy came here today, I was talking with him. He has such a great relationship with his daughters. He was just talking to me. He has a son, but he was just talking about his daughters, how much he misses them, how much he wants, how they spend time together and stuff. And I said, boy, you're really lucky. Those girls don't realize how lucky they are to have a father like that.
Right.
He goes, I worry about him all the time. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like I said, I love my wife and daughter to death. The other day I went out. My daughter loves Michael Myers, and I saw some Michael Myers stuff. I was like, oh, we gotta buy that for Hale.
Mhm.
But it was crazy in a therapy appointment one time, and I never really realized why. I had felt the way that I felt. And the therapist said to me, he said, maybe it's hard for you to express your love and everything because you were never really loved as a child. And when I first heard that, I wanted to be so angry. But then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? Yeah, my parents did. We were provided for, and I think my mom loved us when we were younger. My dad, I don't know, he was very anal retentive. If we went out to have a catch and I threw the ball and it didn't go right to him, the first time he'd be like, come on, you could do better. The second time, hey, if you can't do it right, then we're not going to do it anymore, and I think that was just his way to have an excuse to not do it, I mean, I looked back at things when my dad moved to California. He apologized, said he wished he was a better father, and whether I believe it, I don't know, because a lot of things have been opened up. But I told him, I said, you know what, Dad, you did the best that you could do with the tools that your dad provided you, because from what I hear, my dad's dad was an ass. I only met him a couple times when I was a little kid, so I really don't know. But I don't even know where I was going with that. But I did mean to ask, John, you said you had some renovations done today?
Yeah, they did that radon remediation thing. But the radon gas here in Pennsylvania is radioactive.
Holy
and
crap.
the house, well, because of the rocks breaking down. So they put in a system that runs a vacuum pump basically and pulls the gas out of the house and you put it into the atmosphere for everybody else to enjoy.
Wow.
So I checked my house. Downstairs is where the problem is, usually in the basement. And upstairs has been fine. So they came today and I can't say it. They really did a great job. Like I was running, I was going to get ripped off, you know, you're never quite sure. Like, oh yeah, this is $1,000 job and they're walking out of it with 3,000. But they showed up early, did a great job, cleaned up the whole thing.
Good.
I can hear what you
Good.
say about your parents, and then I always worried that I parented like my parents, and anytime I started to sound like my dad, I'd just shut up. I would just stop.
I wish I could,
Yeah.
because I'm a lot of the times I'm like my dad, and I don't want to be. It just comes out, you know. The one thing I will say though is my dad never apologized, you know, when he was an ass. And when I've calmed down and everything, you know, I apologize, you know, and I say, listen, I know, I said it last time. I'm sorry. You know, I said, but, you know, and it's crazy, you know, I'm better about it. When I worked, when I was still working in law enforcement, I think I was a lot worse because, you know, I'd say things to my daughter like, you know, you're acting just like the people down on 3rd Street, you know. I mean, I've said some probably hurtful things, you know. But you know, I hope that I wasn't so hurtful that you know, when I get older and I'm, you know, needing home health care and crapping all over myself, that she still comes to visit me, because I've run into guys that I work with have their parents that are in that situation and they have nothing to do with them. And man, I just hope that I haven't done that kind of damage, you know. But you find a topic yet, Bruno?
We seem to be on parenting.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, this,
How about this? How does your issues, PTSD, depression, you know, whatever the case may be, how does that affect the people around you and what can you do about it?
I'm sure for me, you know, it affects them both good and bad, you know. I mean, I think you know, having the diagnosis answers, you know, questions that maybe they had, you know, as to, you know, why I would behave certain ways, you know. Then again, I'm wondering if there's things I'm not diagnosed with. I was just watching something today where it talked about symptoms of ADHD people. And I'd never been diagnosed with ADHD, but everything that they taught, I was like, yep. You know, not that I'm looking to load more on, but, you know, I mean, sometimes it is good to have answers, you know. Maybe it's not just one thing that is the way I am, you know. What was the second part of that?
how it influences, huh? How it influences people around you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for the most part, I think the way it influenced most people around me is, and it's weird, you know, sometimes I feel like an imposter, but you know, when I'm around like-minded people, I can talk and be kind and everything. But, you know, I think for the most part, because of my problems, I think it's caused other people to just stay away, you know.
And I can kind of agree with that. Because when you get set off really easy, sometimes people are. I mean, my wife will flat out tell me, I just can't talk to you sometimes.
Right.
And I think I'm starting to get it, but I don't know.
I think the nice thing about it though is the times that I'm able to put things in check. Like Saturday, we went up to the Greater Bridgeton Amish Market. We went there to have breakfast and then to pick up a few things, and you know, the restaurant in there was a little busy, but not really any busier than it's been in the past. And we've always had great service there. And the waitress we had seemed like it took her forever to come get our drink order. And it took her forever to bring our drinks. And then it took an eternity for our food to get there. And then when she brought it, like my order wasn't even right. And man, I was stewing. I'm like, basically she gave me a double helping of potatoes and I ordered eggs with hash browns. So she gave me the cooked, the regular potatoes and 2 hash browns. So in my mind, I'm like, who orders 2 different kinds of potatoes, And then I didn't have my eggs. And then once my food comes out from the kitchen, I don't want anything else from the kitchen. I don't send nothing back to the kitchen. I don't do it. And I was stewing. But thank goodness that day, I started to pray. And I said, Lord, please take this anger from me. Because I have a bad anger problem. I think I expect more from other people than what I'm able to even give, and I'm not saying that's right. It's actually pretty stupid and ignorant. But I wasn't even going to eat. But I was like waiting for the food. Because I normally don't even eat breakfast, but I was like, man, I'm so friggin' hungry now. And then when it came, I was so disappointed. And it was so crazy because as I prayed, I actually felt everything that was built up. Because like when I start to get angry and I have anxiety and everything, it actually starts to radiate from here. And then it almost feels like I'm getting sunburnt, like my skin gets tingly and everything. And I feel a heat that just starts to expand. And, as I prayed, like it was like a fire extinguisher was just kind of, cooling things down. And it wound up working out okay, and I hate when this happens because when I was younger, I complained about my service and the waitress like went off. And now, albeit I was probably 23, 24, but she's like, you young people come in all the time and you complain so you can get free meals. And that was never my intention. I never looked for anything for free. But that lady saying that always made me like, whenever I get something for free, in my mind now, they're like, look, that he just wanted something for free. Now, there is no denying. I said eggs over medium, and you brought me potatoes and hash browns. But they actually didn't charge us for mine, my wife's, and my mother-in-law's meal. And I guess maybe that was a reward because I handled things the proper way. It may not I may be looking too deep into it, but maybe I wouldn't have gotten the discount if I'd have been the typical a-hole and made a super big deal about it. But next,
My wife, I generally start out tipping 20%, and it'll go up a little higher or a little lower from there. And she got mad because we went out with a group one night. I'll never forget this. It was a place called Little Jimmy's up in Pennsylvania. And this girl screwed up every single order coming to that table. I mean, literally every one. but it was never her fault. And I ordered a steak rare, and I get a steak that's more well done than rare.
oh wow.
And when I said something, she said, well, your wife said she doesn't like them rare. And I went like, excuse me? And she says, well, I heard your wife say she doesn't like the steaks cooked that way. I said, well, then you better hope my wife leaves you a tip. And I had people mad at me because I absolutely refused to leave a penny on that table.
See, and they shouldn't be mad at you. Now I don't know that I've ever went out of a place not leaving a tip, period. But if that's how you felt, that like you're entitled to that, because also, so what if your wife said she doesn't like them rare? You ordered your steak the way
my wife
you
wasn't
wanted it.
having it. That was my meal, not
right. And I think the thing that stinks is when people just can't admit to a mistake. And I'll tell you, I could be a jerk, but that's one thing I've always done is I'm always able to recognize when I'm wrong. I'm so sick and tired of hearing, sorry, we don't have enough staff. Well, then you better up your game or something, either that or just close down. If you can't operate, don't make me pay. I came here to get a certain service. And if you can't provide that, then just shut your doors, And I get that for some people it's their livelihood, but customer service is a big thing, in the work that I do. I was doing embroidery on a shirt, and I guess I didn't pay attention when I put it on the machine, and I wound up sewing the back of the shirt to the front of the shirt. And, one of my bosses is like, well, that's why I use a clip. Well, I really kind of don't get the clip thing. I don't know what a clip has to really do with it, but that's what she, prefers to do. And that was her way of making a recommendation to me. Well, when the replacement shirt finally came in and I went to embroider it, I don't know how the same exact thing happened. And so I told her, I said, listen, I said, take it out of my pay. I didn't pay attention. I was rushing. I didn't use a clip. Take it out of my pay, and whatever it costs to mail it to, the people, take that out of my pay too, but there's too many people today that feel like they should be able to do their job any way they want to do it and still get top dollar. And it's sad, she didn't take the money, I gotta say my employers are very, very good, working with me. I've had outbursts at work. Luckily, I don't have the outburst in the area where customers come in. But I think I told you guys a couple times ago that feeling stupid is something that really, really gets me. Because I know I'm not stupid. I know I'm not the most intelligent person, but I couldn't comprehend what another employee was telling me. And I got so angry that like I like face palmed myself and like I almost knocked myself out. That's how hard I hit myself. You know, and they're just, you know, the other employee, I was like, listen, man, I'm sorry. I behaved that way. It was stupid. You know, he's like, nah, listen, you know, it is what it is, you know, which, I mean, I wouldn't have been mad at him if he's like, yeah, you were pretty stupid. I was dumb. I can't believe you got that angry, you know, but I'm very fortunate to be where I'm at.
Yeah, sometimes I get upset with myself because I don't think I really ever noticed it for a long time, but sometimes you just, you know, feels like you snap for no reason. And I don't know. There's probably a reason why we do it.
Yeah, I mean, there definitely has to be a reason. You know, I don't know that anybody shows an emotion or an attitude without purpose. Now, whether or not that, you know, justifies the attitude or feeling or whatever is something else. But so, John, is there a significance to 14846?
I have no idea. I have a Zoom account, but when I log in, it doesn't put my name up. I don't know what it might be. The beginning of my cell phone number. That's probably what it is. The beginning of the cell phone number. Yeah.
Crazy. I don't even know where to go in my account to constantly change my name to just only say Sean. Like in here, I'll go in and I'll change the name to just Sean. But then the next time I do Zoom, it says my full name again.
You were talking about poor service. My brother-in-law and the family went for a dinner last night in Ocean City, Maryland, and he wanted a steak. He likes some medium rare. So it comes out and it's just like Bruno was saying, it's well done. And he's like, no, this is not what I ordered. You know, I wanted it rare. So the waiter goes back, comes out, throws a frozen piece of steak with the blue mark on it on the table and goes, here's your steak.
No.
My brother-in-law is like 250 and he's about 6'2", and he was able to contain himself. But I still hear it when it hit the table. You can hear it so hard, like a rock. Going,
you know,
oh, here we go.
First off, I could maybe understand, not that it would be right. I would understand if the chef came out and did that.
Yeah.
But the waiter?
Yeah. Yeah.
In a set, listen, waiter, you didn't cook it, so you didn't screw it up. Now,
Right.
If I looked at your notepad and saw you didn't write it properly, then yes, you screwed up.
Right.
The chances are the cook just got busy, wasn't paying attention. So for the waiter to have that attitude, but that's the thing, man. You know, like customer service. And it was funny because I saw a commercial today for Starbucks that talked about it wasn't like inclusivity, but I thought about how it said, we want to, we want everybody to feel that they're being treated right and everything. And I'm thinking about all the instances that Starbucks like kicked out policemen and stuff like that. But like, if you think about it, 20 years ago, you would never get the service or the poor service that you get today, because there used to be a point in time when the customer was always right. Now, I don't know where that shifted. But man, that's, I hope that your brother went to social media and talked about that,
Yeah. It was.
Did he speak to management?
No, we left.
Man,
Yeah.
if that happened, it probably
Yeah.
would have been all I could do to not throw that steak or flip that table.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
He was a model of composure.
wow. God bless him.
The other thing I noticed the other day is I came out of the store and the whole sidewalk front of the house of the store just littered with like cans and cigarette butts, and that kind of stuff. Remember back in the day when before you opened your shop, you swept the front of your store and
Mhm.
cleaned up? That doesn't happen anymore.
No.
If I had a store, I'd clean it up before I opened my door.
Right.
I used to, it just, like I said, just different. It's just, it's like the guys that came today, they were being supervised, and he goes, these two guys show up every day and want to work, and I can tell them what to do, and I'll follow through and make sure. I mean, they were like catering a little bit to them, making sure that they were getting everything right. Because we had two other guys, one went to technical school. He goes, he lasted 2 days. He didn't want to work. And the other one didn't come back, So, but, it's ongoing. The stories of just people just don't want to work.
Yeah.
They want big salaries. And that's not, it's a day when you said, I had a guy come here and do chimney work for me. He showed up at 7:30, worked till noon, stopped, had his lunch, got back to work and finished it up.
Right.
Days pay for a day's work. So appreciate that.
Yeah.
But
No, I think part of the problem is employees, like it's just a job to them. Like for me, and it's probably more so this way because one of my bosses is a friend from high school, but I am a representation of them. Now it's funny because when I was a police officer, I didn't feel that it was right that I was a representative of the city per se. Especially the job that I was tasked to do and expected to always just smile and thank you, sir. May I have another, no matter how bad I was treated.
yeah.
But like this job here, I don't know, like I want to go above and beyond to make the company look good,
Mhm.
But there's a lot of people that aren't about that anymore. I mean, the other day I was at the gas station and one of the employees is hanging out with a dude that's F-bombing this, F-bombing that. The dude's smoking a joint right there on the property and everything. And I mean, yes, it's legal, but
Right.
I mean, really, should that kind of behavior be going on? If it's just some random guy cutting across the gas station, okay. But your employee's hanging out with the dude and being loud and vulgar and and I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Well,
And-
a friend of mine runs it's a family-run repair place, trucks
Mhm.
and auto and towing, and he's reluctant to hire mechanics that worked in a dealership because he goes, I can't afford comebacks. When that car goes out, it's got to be serviced to the expectations of the customer. And he goes, when I get a guy like that, I got to work with him and see if he's willing to follow my procedures to get this the way it is, because we can't afford that. And he
Right.
has a nephew that works in a dealership, and they're constantly doing comebacks. But he says, it's tough to find anybody to do that. He's been lucky. He's got a guy right now, but it is really difficult to find somebody that's gonna do the work. He hired
Right.
one guy. He told him to do an oil change. So the guy puts the car up, takes the oil out of it, puts the car down, comes over to him, goes, I put 2 gallons of oil into the crankcase, but the dipstick's still reading no oil. My friend goes, what? I go over there, 2 gallons of oil is spilt all underneath the car because he forgot to put the drain plug back in.
I figured that's what it was. Mm.
And it's synthetic. And my son, 2 gallons of synthetic, mobile
Yeah,
one or
that's
whatever.
expensive.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, I worked with high school students for a long time, and some couldn't wait, vocational high school. They couldn't wait to get into their program and do their work and be with the instructor and follow through. A lot of good success stories. Then I had other ones that would, the instructor's not teaching me. And I go over there, because I know the instructors, and I walk in there, so they'll be out doing hands-on work. He's sitting at his desk. Because my instructor's not teaching me. I said, he's out there hands-on. What are you doing sitting in here? You're supposed to be out there with doing the mechanical work.
right.
Yeah. Well, he's not helping me. Well, his job is to teach you hands-on, get out there. Well, I don't want to do that. So,
Mm.
but the other kids the other way just couldn't wait to get out there. And there's a lot to say for that. Like, they found what they like to do.
Yeah.
Unbelievable stories that kids are just turned their lives around and became successful in their auto body, or we had police and science stuff, criminal justice stuff, graphics, computers. We had some pretty wealthy family members brought their son over, and he goes, I'm going to college and I'm going back to my regular high school. And I said, you're not leaving here till you pick a trade. Because I don't like any of this stuff. I don't like any of it. I'm going to college. And his father goes, no. So I noticed he liked working with his hands. Like anytime we'd have a project, like I'd have something, they would have to do projects and we'd build stuff. He loved doing that. He'd be like, can I get started on this? So I said, go over to Auto Body sometime. Auto Collision. Went in there, and by 6 months, he went to the district level for competition and
Nice.
finished second.
Nice.
And when he graduated, 2 Ferrari dealerships wanted him. They were bidding for his services to work on
Wow.
Ferraris. And
Mm.
there was no way he was going to go to college. He thought he could, but he really didn't have he probably had the intelligence, just didn't have the ambition to do it.
Right.
And I go like, what's the difference? Because I just love doing that. I love working on cars. I like painting. I like doing the welding. And he felt good about it.
Right.
But yeah, it's a divorce situation. The mother put the kid in a vocational program. He did electronics.
Mm-hmm.
The father comes and goes, how did my son get in this program? I didn't agree for him to be in this program. I want to meet because I'm his case manager. I want to meet with the case manager, and I want to meet and see my son in the program. So he comes in, I show him around, goes, and we talk about how the kid's being successful. He's not falling asleep in class. He's getting his work done. So we go over to his program, and the kid's working on a circuit board, soldering stuff up. He designed the circuitry and all this stuff. And the father walks toward the door and goes, "Son, you need to get out of this. This is no good for you." And the son turns to him and goes, "Dad, this is the future." Father walks in the hall with me, goes, "I think I like this program for him."
Good, good. That's always good.
Yeah. He was,
You know, sometimes parents forget that, you know, what they're trying to do, that, you know, they're trying to relive things. They're trying to cover up their mistakes through their children, you know, instead of just letting the kid, you know, so what if you're a doctor, whatever, if your kid likes working with his hands, let him get
Yeah.
dirty.
yeah, I mean, the program we had, they could go on and get a 2-year or 4-year program or certificate. And then, of course, the unions would come in. You know, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers would come.
Right.
We'd have the people from the plumbing contractors, because they're looking for people who want to work. Like they would go to the instructor, say, "Well, how's this guy? Does he come with his uniform on? Does he follow instructions? All this kind of stuff." There was actually a poster in the hallway for a job posting for a repair place right down the road from us that said, "These are the requirements if you want to come work for us. Show up on time, wear the uniform we give you, and do what we tell you to do." Right there.
You want to hear something crazy, John? I used to live around the corner from an IBEW, but it wasn't until last year that I found out. I mean, and this is when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I had no idea what IBEW was.
Mhm.
It wasn't until last year I found out what that stood for.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a client who was like he was like one of the reps here in Pennsylvania for it. But it's, yeah, electrician today? You're kidding me.
Yeah. Listen, the labor workers, you know, you compare them to, you know, somebody who's in an academic career field, and hands down, a laborer, I think, lives such a better life. You know, yeah, maybe the academic guy has imported Italian marble countertops, but they're lucky if they can wipe their own butt. You know, they have no idea. Now, there's a few people out there who are very academic and are good with their hands and everything. But for the most part, man, you look at, you know, you just go to a property, and I'm amazed at people who can sit there and put things together. You know, they just look at a pile of stuff.
Yep.
And they're like, I can make this, you know, and if I could, I'd rather be that person. But my hands are too delicate.
The best house a property I ever went to was the guy who was a stonemason. He was in his maybe late 20s, early 30s, you know.
I bet his house was beautiful.
Not only did he have one house, he had 2 houses on the property.
Right.
And he was building a bass pond. And he was a stonemason. Yeah, stonemason. Yeah. Hey, whatever. You know, it's just, I would tell kids would ask me, what's the best program to go to? I said, HVAC. You never can get outsourced.
Right.
Never, yeah. It's either too hot, too cold, too humid.
I got a friend who, I mean, his life story is just amazing, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure he didn't graduate high school. He got kicked out, and he started working for someone else and had no idea really what he was doing when it came to like the building trades. And now he's got, I mean, Lord knows what his business is worth. But I mean, he took an old farmhouse and turned it into this beautiful contemporary home. They sold that, you know, he flips properties, he owns rental properties and stuff. And now he's building a huge home. where they have a private lake,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And this is a guy who like learned everything pretty much on his own.
Yeah.
You know?
I had a student when I first met him in ninth grade. He was reading below primer. Below primer. In the
Now,
ninth grade.
what's that mean, primer?
See Jack run, Jack and
Okay.
Jill go up there. I mean, below that. And then we work with him. He was making some progress. A friend of his mother was an instructional assistant. He got a book and he went to his friend's mother and said, teach me to read. And then by the time he graduated, he was reading about the ninth grade level. And I didn't see him for like 4 or 5 years. And I'm in Home Depot one day. And this huge guy comes up behind me because they were all like really big. And he goes, I said, Greg, what are you doing? He goes, I'm working. I started my own company. I got 1 employee and they do that. They're flipping houses and doing remodeling stuff.
Nice.
And I said, I always tell people about you because you're the only student that I had that found out that he needed to learn how to read. And he found a way to do it. Like his friend never went to his mother and had him learn how to read. So he just works. He goes, you know, I just like working. And yeah, he worked with one guy for a while, taught him how to flip houses and stuff, and he was doing that. But I see him every now and then. He'll come up behind me at Home Depot, and like, it's just it's just fun to see them. What he had the ambition to go do that kind of stuff.
Right. He
His
didn't.
friend was what his
Well,
best
his friend
didn't.
probably was more along the lines of someone who would say, well, it's not my fault. I don't know how to read.
Yep.
You know, whereas the other kid was like, you know what? I don't know how to read. I got to fix that.
Yep.
What up, TJ?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Hey, TJ.
Good. Just creating conversation while we're waiting for your traffic light.
Sorry about that. Some busy on a call and filling out stuff for the March 17th trip.
Is there going to be some kind of packing list or something? I mean,
Um,
like my wife is asking me questions and I'm like, I have no idea.
you'll be staying in a house, and there you just bring what you need for the weekend like you would anywhere else you gone. You can be driving around in side by side ATVs, like them Yamaha things and stuff.
Right.
During the day on Saturday, and there'll be no alcohol, and then in the evening, Friday night and Saturday night, there'll be the fireside chats where you guys hang out and have conversation.
Cool.
And if I didn't mention it, there'll be no alcohol.
None?
I believe none. So it's
good.
more,
That's good.
I don't
Yeah.
hardly drink anyway.
same here, and I'm sitting at my bar. Like I have
Yeah.
a fully stocked bar. with
Right.
lots of alcohol, and I almost never drink.
Yeah. The other
My
night
girl-
I actually had a screwball with Dr. Pepper. And that's the first time I had alcohol touch my lips in Lord knows how long.
I mean, I do drink, but I drank during the Super Bowl. That was the last time I drank.
Right.
But yeah, we try, because some people
It's a
it's
vice.
not as easy. So we
Right.
respect everybody with that and do what we can.
Yeah, it could be a trigger for somebody.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're
So yeah, we're full up for everybody that I told that is green lighted for it. They're good. You're good. But from here on out, anybody that we get that wants to join will be put on a reserve list in case anybody has to back out.
Right.
So It's all good. I'm green, by the way.
It's good
That's
to
good.
hear.
Yeah.
You, how many people are going to this thing?
Uh, 10 or 11 people. So we got room for everybody.
You ain't heard from Horseman, have you, TJ?
Bruce,
Yeah.
no, I have to reach out to him. It's been a few weeks since I've talked to him.
Yeah, I ran into his wife and
Okay.
in Hobby Lobby
When was this?
last week.
Okay.
And I gave her a card. And she's like, "Oh, Bruce is already part of this." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Well, I think he knows about it, but I don't think he's really a part of it." I said, "You know,
Well,
we have Zoom and
Bruce-
stuff."
Yeah. He's been on here twice.
Right.
And, you know, me and Bruce, we used to work at the nuke plant together, so we're close.
Right.
So
Yeah. I told
I'm
her, I
glad
said,
that you saw her in Hobby Lobby. She was a little sick there for a while, and
I'll tell you, she looked good. You
That's-
know, normally
hear.
when you would see her, you could tell just looking. You know,
Mhm.
she just didn't look healthy, and she's looking a lot healthier. You know, I think you know, some of it may be like life situations and stuff, but she was
Mhm.
saying that's even better. I guess Bruce his rating was raised. So, but yeah, she was looking good, looking real good.
How's that Marine that the fundraiser was run for? How's he doing?
James is in contact with him and the family. I
Okay.
wouldn't have that answer on me,
Okay.
but I believe he's coming home, or he may be home soon.
Okay.
But they should be doing pretty good.
Good. Good. Did they get the ramp built for that other person that needed it done?
No, I don't
Yeah.
have an answer for that now.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
This recruit does not know.
Yeah, there's a lot of other stuff that I've been taking care of. So it's like certain things.
Yeah.
When it comes to a lot of the people that reach out and with discretion and stuff, like if I did know that most of the stuff I won't tell because
Yeah.
we love to keep people's privacy. So that way
Right.
they continue
Yeah.
to trust us and open up.
Right.
But
Okay.
there's a lot that we do one way or the other. And, you know,
I understand.
yeah, I'm on the other hand. It's like,
That's okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
It's above your pay grade.
yeah. But things are coming along good for the tattoo convention, or this retreat, the June retreat, the golf outing, all that kind of stuff is coming along well. That's kind of what I've immersed myself in as of right now. We jump back and forth through a lot of that stuff. If someone needs help, obviously I'll be there to help the people. But
What's the golf outing?
So every year we do a fundraiser at a golf course, and you can pay to play and donate and stuff, and it's a good time. That's on the website. Sorry, I'm doing two things at once.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
on
that
the
looks like
events
that's
page.
going to be a big one.
It's pretty good. We usually do like 50/50s also, and the Chinese auctions and stuff like that. It's a good time. But then there's many other things. We got a mud run that we plan on doing in May. And then we have the Colorado trip, which we've received a few emails, but we haven't really put out the dates yet on the list for people to come join us. And then the tattoo convention that's coming together. That's going to be large. That's a big deal.
See, in July, you guys will be back in Millville.
What was that for? Is that for the mud run?
The SCCA Thunderbolt
SCCA
Race
races,
Camp.
yeah. So they have the SCCA was started by World War II veterans.
Okay.
And so we partnered up with them, and we go down there and camp out for the weekend while they do their racing, so people can hang out, watch the races, and
Well, that's how I
do our
wound
thing.
up finding out about you guys. Steve told me that you guys would be out at the racetrack.
Did I meet you last
So-
year?
There was, I remember Jesse was there, Bruno was there.
Were you staying
Dan
in the
was
camper
there.
next door?
No, I just, because I live in Millville, so I just drove out there for the day.
All right. Yeah, I was there in the afternoon, and then so I had to work, and then I came out, hung out, and then I think I had to work the next day too.
So when is this golf outing? There's no, I mean, I see that it's on the webpage, but
There's no date on it.
I don't, and I scrolled through the calendar for the year. I didn't see anything about it.
Pretty soon that date should be up there. If it's not, that's something we already have locked in. So
All right. I mean, like I said, it looks like
It's
you
in-
guys got some good sponsors there.
it's in May. I do know that.
Anytime you guys need sponsorship, if one of you guys reaches out to me, because I'll have my wife take paperwork to her bank. I'll take it to my buddy who I work for and see what's what.
Yeah, I mean, anytime that we have something, even if they want to do the monthly donor thing and be involved that way,
Right.
we absolutely could use anybody that wants to help out, because all proceeds go towards helping veterans and fund these programs we do for vets. So yeah, if our bank wants to get involved, you can always give her James's card or my card. I'm right in Pittsgrove. I'm down the road from you, so
Okay.
I could always hand off a few cards if you ever wanted.
I have some left
Bruno's
that Dan gave me.
a dance. Well, that's just
Yeah.
as well. You could always do Dan as well.
So
So, but I saw Rose was on. Did she talk in too much? Not too much.
she
That's
talked a little bit,
She
but
talked.
I guess she had maybe some reports to do or something. She said she'll try to get back on later.
Yeah, she works a lot.
Oh, there
Rose is
we
a good
go.
woman. I've seen her calendar before, and she's like, "Yeah, these are the days I'm working." I'm like, "Is that a mistake, or did you only have 2 days off in the month?" She's like, "No, I fill it with volunteer work. She's a hard worker."
Yeah, she's always working anytime we've had the Zooms.
Yeah. You could probably count on one hand where she's sitting at home when she's on. Your Bruno, is your ComCon thing this weekend? Comic Con. Is that the one at the Hampton Inn?
No, it's the one in Swedesboro
That's what I
at
meant.
the Holiday Inn.
Holiday.
Excuse me. Yeah, I got to go down to Virginia Saturday morning. We're doing a concert there, and I got to leave about 5 a.m. Sunday to be at the other place for 9.
Luckily, it's right off the turnpike there.
I got to come back into Hamilton, drop my wife off, and get my gear. So I got somebody going with me. I got another photographer going with me.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be too bad. Steve Weber's watching.
Oh, Steve's there. What's going on, Steve? I didn't realize with the admin access when I said I'll be on soon, it popped up refit.
Yeah.
And not me. So I'm like, okay.
You knew it was somebody.
Yeah. And then I hopped on and turned everything off.
I got the stream going. I got the chat going. Getting the hang of it, I think.
Yeah.
So what like how do you know that Steve came on? It gives you a little pop-up window or something?
Yeah, if you watch it on Facebook Live and you look at it underneath it, the comments, like when it's a live video, comments pop on.
Yeah, but the restream chat is everywhere we're at. So I had somebody on Twitch comment. Not much of a comment. They said hi.
Never been on the Twitch.
Yeah, I haven't done that one yet either.
Yeah, did James or anybody tell you about how it went when we went on the battleship?
No, I just saw the thing.
The videos he posted.
That it was definitely happening.
Yeah, it was a good time. We went there. We met them. It was raining cats and dogs, to say it PG. But we got inside the ship. We were talking and planning things out. And by the time we were done, it stopped raining. So we were able to walk around and look at things and evaluate everything. And they're good people over there. And it'll definitely be a fun time. It's turning out to be a lot of really good potential. So I'm excited for it. So anybody that's watching, definitely check it out once we post more stuff. We're going to be putting up banners and advertisement for it and looking to get as many sponsors as possible so we can get, a ton of people through there. I'm hoping we get a few thousand people throughout the day, but
that'd be a good turnout.
Oh yeah.
That'd be a real good turnout.
Well, I mean, I'm sure somebody's going to get a tattoo of a battleship while on a battleship. I think that'd be pretty fun.
They got to do it on the chest, like I think it was like an old Popeye commercial.
Oh yeah, the big
where he flexes and the ship like starts shooting all the guns and everything.
And we will be doing a ceremony in the beginning where we fire off the cannons and everything. So that'll be fun. So another month or so, I think we're going to start the plan out and accepting tattoo shops that want to get involved and stuff like that. So it'll come together nicely. I have all the confidence in the world that it'll be something pretty awesome. And a yearly thing.
You gonna get a tattoo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on how much time I have available that day, because I'll be running around making sure stuff's, running smoothly. But if not that day, maybe the day before from one of the artists that are going to be there.
Right.
Depending, I'm going to get the refit logo on tattooed on me. Do I have that? The Don't Fight Alone flag shield looking thing.
Right.
I'm going to get that somewhere. Where, I don't know. Definitely not the lower back or the neck. Those are out. And then anybody that's got tattoos that reflect their service and what they mean, we're going to be doing interviews and stuff to where if somebody wants to tell their story about what the ink means, and because it's called Stories of Blood and Ink is what the tattoo event's going to be called.
Nice.
So getting to understand how we are and what our tattoos reflect about us kind of goes perfectly with the idea. So we'll have a few guys that we may record beforehand, and then while we're there, and potentially live stream some of them on a projector while the event's going on, so people can see these stories, and hopefully it helps somebody somewhere. If not, it'll add the appreciation to those that didn't serve that are there to see how we wear our heart on our sleeve, if you will.
Right.
Yeah. It's like most people know, like that me, I have the whole thing on my arm here is all about my service.
Nice.
And parts that wasn't my service, like on the forearm. I don't know if the light kind of washes it out. I have a T-54 55 with all the wreckage behind it, and that's actually the Highway to Hell from the Gulf War. That was the first time that I saw the M1 battle tanks. Now, I won't say how old I was, but I remember seeing it. I remember seeing that and be like, I want to do that. And so many years later, I joined the Army, and I did exactly that. I was a tanker and then deployed to Iraq, and that's where the rest of it comes from. And then the one that you would recognize is the 5th 117th Sabres.
Yeah.
So I've had guys before, because I was in the 114th before I retired early. In my words, I got out after 12 years, but like, oh, how come you don't have any cross sabers? I'm like, I spent just as much time in the infantry as I did the Cav, but it didn't grab my heart the way the Cav did.
Right.
So
It was the
still
hat.
respect it. Yeah, of course. I'm part of the Funny Hat gang.
I can't remember if I asked you. Did you do a spur ride? You got your spurs?
I never fully did a spur ride, but
Okay.
I can still get the combat spurs. I can wear my gold spurs. So just like a CIB.
Right.
I'd never seen combat as an infantryman. And, there's the guys that wear the ones without the wreath because they did the what's that called? The combat infantry badge, just without the combat wreath, where they just have the rifle.
Is that, I want to say like a battle action something. Is that what it is?
I should know, but I'll take that ding.
Be right back.
All right.
I'm trying to look it up. It's not the EIB, is it?
Yes, EIB. That's an expert infantry badge.
And Steve just texted me and said EIB.
Yeah.
The EIEIO.
Yeah. The only badge I have is the CAB, the combat infantry badge or combat action badge.
Oh, that's kind of cooler.
What's that?
The combat action badge with the
Combat
survival
kitchen.
knife with the grenade behind it.
Yeah, they call it the combat kitchen knife.
Okay.
Where you got the grenade, the wreath.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I put one on my truck, and they these metal ones had like the 3M sticky on the back, but it was a pack
Okay.
of two, so I just got an extra one in the drawer here.
And I'll tell you, like 2 weeks ago, I went to the doctor because I had a sinus infection, and now at night, I just keep having like this active cough where like I feel like I got something in my lungs. I gotta call the doctors tomorrow.
My daughter's been having a cough for the past 2 weeks too. Not sick, running around like crazy around the house, not producing phlegm or nothing, just this dry cough.
Yeah, yeah.
Weird.
And it like when it feels like when you go to cough, you know how sometimes you just need to cough to kind of clear the airway.
Yeah, to break it up.
But it nothing ever clears it. What you eating good, Bruno?
Meatball.
There you go.
Excuse me. So, what about you, Bruno? The topic you came up with. What was it? How do you feel others
React to you, and
Yeah.
how do you yeah, I keep snapping at my wife over basically the same thing every time, and I try not to, and sometimes I just do it before I get a chance. And I tell her she's like trying to micromanage me, and she says that's not what I'm doing. I'm just, trying to be helpful and talking, and usually 9 times out of 10 I could just totally ignore it, but for some reason that 10th time I just snap back at her, and she does not get it. I don't think I actually get it sometimes. But
like what? I mean, are you able to give an example of something specific that you feel she micromanages?
we were cooking, and I was frying eggplant, and I'm flipping them, and she goes, "Are they dark enough?" And I'm like, "Do you think I can't tell?" Well, no, that's not what I said. I said, "No, you said, are they dark enough?" Like I can't tell. I said, "So go look at them." and then you decide. And we got in a fight about that because she wasn't going to look at him, and I wasn't going to flip him until she did. So we ended up throwing the whole eggplant away.
I was gonna say, so the kitchen fills up with smoke, the eggplant's burning.
And she says, well, I wasn't insinuating you didn't know what you were doing. I says, well, then what were you doing then? Or I'll be going somewhere and she'll tell me which way I should go. I've been there before. I know how to get there.
Right.
I know, but this way, I don't want to go that way. I know how to get there. I want to go the way I want to go. I don't need somebody to tell me how to get from point A to point B. The ride to Virginia should be fun because I'll have the GPS on and I go where the GPS tells me to go. And she'll, you know, well, if you go this way, it'll be quicker. No, I'm going the way the GPS tells me to go because I don't know where I'm going, and it does. And I don't care if it takes me 5 miles out of my way because there's some little back street.
Yeah, sometimes the GPS kind of, like mine at least, I'm like, why did it take us that way? You know, or it'll take you one way on the way up and a different way on the way back.
Yeah, it's good for that.
But I mean, I jump at my wife too. Like today, I'm having a problem because we went to do our taxes the other day, and they're saying that we owe $6,000 in taxes. And I said, what? I said, man, I figured if anything, we'd break even. And the lady says, oh, well, here's the culprit. And it was my accidental disability pay. And I said, no, that shouldn't be the culprit. My accidental disability is tax exempt. And she's like, no. And she brings out some letter that says something about 3 years or something. And I'm like, listen, I don't know what to tell you. But when they tell me I'm tax exempt, I don't know why you're counting that as taxable income. And so we've been kind of going back and forth with that. And I asked my wife today, I said, well, where's the pension paperwork? And she said, I got it all somewhere because I'm organized. I said, yeah, I had it all somewhere too, but you always got to touch it. You know, so we just kind of argued a little bit about that.
Yeah, we argue about that one because she believes that there is a place for everything and everything should be in its place. And she's the only one who is allowed to decide where that place is.
Right. I think that's just about every married couple though. Like, you know, I won't have the heater on. And she'll go and she'll turn it on. And I'm like, why'd you turn that on? She said, well, I'm cold. I said, well, I'm hot. You know, so because you want it a certain way. And then in the same token, if you're on the outside looking in, it's like, well, because I want it a certain way. But, you know, there's a lot of the times, and I think we talked about it before where, you know, I'll go off about something. And she'll say, you know, that's something pretty small to be that's upset about. And I said, right, if it's this small for me to be upset about, it's just as small for you to just do it and me not be upset, you know? But what's going on, Austin?
All right, it's another fun day.
What's up, man?
Picked up a fun little project I gotta get done by Friday. I get to do an urn. No, it's not for you, Bruno.
That's good.
You're too stubborn. And it's not that big.
What are you doing a portrait on it or
no,
what?
this is just gonna be some it's the name, the date of birth, date of death, and a poem.
Okay.
But yeah, it'll be interesting, as you know. Should be another quick 1-day project. Once I get everything drawn out, should take me about a day to cut everything in. And this week's going to be the fun week because on Thursday I'm doing a demonstration for the automotive students at the community college I went to.
Nice.
So I'm going to take over some examples of my work, which a lot of them have seen and a lot of them follow me. But I'm gonna put their hands on a Dremel and show them how not so easy this is.
Now, last week, I think it was last week, you were talking about how other people that do engraving, or some people have said that you don't do it the same way as them or whatever because you use a Dremel. But
Yeah.
what is the difference though, really, between you using a Dremel and them using, what is it, an etching machine?
Tradition. So you got 3 different kinds of engravers. You got traditional hammer and chisel engravers that are still out there and still prominent. And they do, and then you have pneumatic engravers who use an almost an air chisel setup or a pneumatic engraving setup. Now, those two typically do what's called a V cut. So it's very sharp, very crisp lines. Dremels do a round cut. The lines, depending on who uses them, is not as sharp, not as clean. I have a higher propensity of seeing a jump in the line or a little bump here, a little bump there.
Well, I was going to say a Dremel is a little bit harder to control, isn't it?
It is. But I'm a firm believer. It's not, I know mechanics who use fucking Harbor Freight tools who are amazing. And I know mechanics that work in shops with $1 million worth of equipment who suck dick.
Right.
I've been an artist for my entire life. I've tattooed for 20 years. I've drawn my whole life. Now I'm, 5 years into engraving. I've reached a place in my artwork where I've received national recognition. I've won a VA national level show. I've been featured in multiple interviews with newspapers, TV news. I've had a feature in a hot rod magazine. It's not the tools at all. It's the ability, it's creativity, it's the talent of the person who uses it.
Right.
I'm a firm believer in that. I've done some of the best. I know tattoo artists who make great money. They own shops, but they're not an artist. They're a tattooer. They don't draw anything they tattoo. They print shit out. They copy, they paste, they fucking build designs like that. And then they basically make a transfer and they fucking create with computer. I know engravers out there. They design with a computer. I draw every single thing I do on the piece with a Sharpie by my own hand. So nothing I do is ever the same as a piece before it. But there's an arrogance, and it's like with any creative field, musicians, artists of any kind. Traditional engravers are a very arrogant breed, just like a lot of tattoo artists are very arrogant. They believe if you don't engrave the way they do, you're a fucking scratcher. Well, suck my dick. Look at my work. Let's put piece up against piece. I have no problems calling you out. If you're a douchebag, you're a douchebag. It doesn't matter what you can fucking do. I've actually been at a car show with my own display. Had a guy walk up to my fucking booth, and he's a jeweler. He makes little trinkets and shit. And he actually threw one of his trinkets down on my booth, on top of my table. And I was like, what do you think of that? I'm like, well, okay, cool. You use a pneumatic engraver. Awesome. You're a fucking douchebag though. And if you want, I will gladly come behind this fucking table. We can go the fuck outside and we can handle this like an adult. I'll whip your ass in front of your friends and make you feel like a little bitch because what you just did, one, is disrespectful as fuck and just proves how fucking little you are as a person, that you got to throw your piece of work down on my fucking display table and try and make me feel like I'm less of an artist because I do it with adrenaline, you do it with traditional shit up. Yeah, it's always fun. And it was one of those deals. It was like, instantly got on his heels, danced around. Oh no, bro, I'm not, I just want to get your opinion. Well, like if you would have done it, you would have asked.
Right.
You would have shown an ounce of fucking respect. You doing this in front of your fucking friends, you're trying to flex, and now you got called out. Now you're being a bitch. If you want to man up, man up. If you don't, shut the fuck up. And I'm extremely proud of what I do. I'm very proud, and I've become a more diverse artist since I've become more of a diverse artist since I started engraving with a Dremel than I ever was as a tattoo artist. I got lazy as a tattoo artist because everything was to feed the ego. Nothing was about the pure art anymore. But now I'm at a point where I have such a wide variety of work that I'm able to create, from traditional styles with car parts, like these motorcycle pieces, to doing full-blown portraits of people in fucking metal. And it's the level of detail I can create. I did a memorial for a local Vietnam vet who started a motorcycle club over here after he passed. I knew the guy. I did a portrait of him, and the detail was so good that me posting pictures of the piece as it was being done, Facebook was tagging his profile in it because of the facial recognition algorithm.
Is that the guy with I think he's got a beard?
Yeah. Yeah. Dude's name was Steve Rapier. A phenomenal guy. I would never want to have to go through what he did in his last few years. The guy went from the last 2 years of his life. I never saw him without some kind of open sore from either shingles or cancer. It just fucking it destroyed him from the outside in. But the guy always had a smile on his face. Never would lean on that he was in pain, and he was sore, that he wasn't feeling good. He was an amazing vet. And I still have yet to go to his clubhouse and see his portrait up on the wall since I gave it to them. That's one of my bucket list items for this year, is to go see his picture again. But I finally have my submission for this year's VA show. I have it planned out now. It's going to be a 2.5 feet tall piece. It's going to be a soldier with a ruck, hunched over, weapon dragging. But it's going to be titled something along the lines of what we carry. And it's going to, I want it to be just like my first submission to the VA, which is, I just want it to be a powerful piece this year. I wanted to explain what vets carry with them in transition and through our service. but I have a feeling I'll be in Florida in December. So,
We doing down in Florida?
that'll be
Award
when
ceremony.
that'll be when the national show is.
Okay.
And not being cocky, but being confident, I have no doubt that this piece is going to win first place in its division or in its category.
That's awesome.
And so, with the VA's art festival that they do, the national show, if your submission makes it to the national show and wins first place in your category, the VA will fly you and a guest down to the show for the week. Last time I was unable to go because it was turned into a virtual show because of COVID.
Gotta love that.
Yeah, that was the year I won, and I spent $400 shipping my piece to Florida for it to be photographed by the photographer for the show and shipped back. I had to pay for all the shipping. And then they told everyone, I want to say it was like a month before the show was supposed to happen, that it was no longer an in-person viewing. It was going to be a virtual show. And the way, well, I don't know. I'm not sure if you've seen the piece or not. So that's the piece. And the way it is, you have to be able to walk past or see it from multiple angles to see how the light plays off of the work. And the virtual show did not, he took 2 photographs of it. And that's what they published. And the way they did it, it was such a hard, it made it almost impossible to actually see the image clearly.
So you're saying they did a wonderful job.
Oh, they did a government job. But I mean, and it was that was such a high point in my life in my life. That was a huge high point for me. But at the same time, professionally as an artist, I just won a national show. But at the same time, I carried around a real a lot of anger about it because I won, but at the same time I didn't win. There was no celebration. There was nothing to celebrate. There was no way for me to celebrate it outside of making a post on fucking Facebook or Instagram. I got to take it to shows. I still take that piece to shows, and the reaction from anybody who's ever worn a uniform is amazing for me because it's always a very emotional, especially for the combat guys. It's always a very emotional reaction. But that year, not being able to go and stand in front of people and receive an award, I got a fucking swag bag from the VA. And this shit was like, I got shirts that they made for the show that were mildewed. I got
Hell of an appreciation.
I got a fucking beer koozie. I got
no stress ball.
I got such stupid shit that you could have got at a fucking dollar store. I was
No
like,
stress ball.
Was it stressful? No.
No, I said no stress ball.
Oh no, I got one. I got a stress globe.
I was gonna say, yeah. Normally, the things you got to go into, for a therapy appointment. That's what they gave you.
And I got a notepad I got a little, pocket Bible size fucking notepad with a little syringe pen. I was like, what the fuck? Did you guys just ask your sponsors to send the cheesiest shit they could, and this is what you're gonna hand out fucking veterans? Get the fuck out of here.
What do we got left over in the?
Yeah, everybody
Yeah,
look in your drawer, see what you got that's left over.
It's literally like they raided all the HA fucking shit we handed out to fucking Afghanis and Iraqis. They raided all the shit we didn't give them. And it's like, oh, hey, MWR, what do you got? All right, send it. Hey, USO, what do you got? Do you got that VHS copy of fucking Black Hawk Down from '96? All right, send that shit over. It was a huge highlight, but at the same time, it was such a letdown in the whole thing. And I really dragged my feet on trying to get anything submitted for the last couple of years because of that. And it's like this year, I'm going all out. I'm bringing all new displays to shows this year. I'm waiting to hear from a couple in Alabama about doing up this Volkswagen Ghia that they're building for a charity auction. They want me to engrave the bumpers, the trim, the headlight bezel, or the headlight rings. They want me to do a lot of shit on this. I'm looking at being in Vegas for November for SEMA. If everything goes right, they'll have 4 cars that I've done work on display, and I'll be doing live work. And hopefully in a week, I will know exactly when my fucking divorce is finalized and how much I got to fucking pay my ex-wife. And life will be fucking good.
A light at that tunnel. Huh?
Because if dude, it's honestly, I've seen the light at the end of the tunnel for the last year.
Well, once you made that realization, then I noticed it immediately, your change of attitude, but
it was night and day. I mean, to go from not just being borderline suicidal, but to go from being ready to eat a fucking bullet to enjoy, having so many new experiences in the last 10 months, like reconnecting with family, being able to go to see family and have my family interact with this woman that's in my life, and everything being positive. I mean, not having the constant daily fucking negativity thrown back at you. Being able to be comfortable to go to a show and not get the text every 45 fucking minutes. Oh, when's it going to be done? When's it going to be done? How long are you going to take to do that? I stopped pushing to go put my artwork out there at car shows because of that. I went from doing that first year doing what's that?
It wears you down.
Oh, it's beyond wears you down. I mean, nonstop stupid fucking missions wear you down. I was under the fucking ground already. I just haven't pulled the last bit of dirt over me. And it was such a release to finally say those words and fucking do what I had to do and get the fuck out of there. And, people, I have lost people in my life because of this, but at the same time, I hope nothing but the fucking best for you.
It's the best thing to be.
If you don't want to be involved in my life, I'm not going to chase you down. I'm not going to fucking force you. That's your decision. I hope you have an amazing life. I hope you, like for my youngest son, I hope you don't make the same mistakes I did as a kid. I hope your experience as a future husband and as a father is better than mine. I hope you can stand up and say, I did it better than you did. I hope nothing but that. And if that's what you need to do, then that's what you got to do. But I'm done with the negativity shit. There's losing all my display pieces except for one. And still staying positive, knowing I've got 6 months worth of fucking work ahead of me just to get all this shit in. And in 5 weeks, I've knocked out four amazing pieces that are going to just blow people's fucking minds away, as well as putting out new work for customers, doing stuff like these tail lights that I just knocked out that I know are going to be a huge money driver for me, because it's something I can bang out in a day, and that's $400 for 5 hours of work.
Nice. How's your workload right now?
Right now, I got this urn to do. I'm waiting on other pieces. I'm waiting to hear back from other customers about pieces that they're talking about doing. I might be taking on a bunch of covers for. I mean, if you follow my Facebook page and see, I posted up a picture of that motorcycle gas tank on the back of a frame.
I've seen that actually.
That the owner of the bike that is being built for, she wants me to do all the covers on her bike, but we've talked online, told her what she needs to get, but that bike shows in 3 weeks. I'm like, you want to get this shit done? It's $800. You get me these parts, and I will have them ready for the show. No fucking questions about it.
Yeah.
Because then it's not just my part sitting on a bench. Now it's my work on this bike that's going to be fucking awesome. As long as they can get the bike done. So it's, yeah, I've got a lot of, fires in there, but we'll see which ones actually come through. And if not, I'm going to continue, as soon as I get done with this urn. I mean, I just told this guy today, I will have it ready by Friday. Not even thinking about, oh shit, Thursday, I'm losing 4 fucking hours because I got to go do this demonstration at my college.
Yeah.
But I should have no problems tomorrow doing all the design work, Wednesday getting everything cut, take this thing back to this dude on Thursday before I go to the college. And then I'm back to work on another tank, another fender that are just going to be display pieces, and I hope they sell. I've got one guy coming up for the bike show to check out these 4 pieces I already have. He's talking about possibly wanting to buy them. So we'll see if he comes up here with cash and he's got the right number. Let's see if they go, because I got a hot rod to build, and I got a Jeep to engrave. And the shit costs money.
Yeah, it ain't cheap.
Yeah, I mean, with what I've got planned this year, will beyond put my name on the map as far as in the Pacific Northwest. I've already developed a very good following. But what I'm going to bring out this year with what I'm going to do to my Jeep, with what I'm going to do, or, get my 63 Grand Prix back on the road and running and driving, so I can actually get the work done on my Jeep. It's all going to be next level stuff for me. This is going to be stuff that nobody in the Northwest, unless they've gone to SEMA, unless they've seen Hank Robinson's display down there, nobody has seen this stuff in person. And now I'll have a vehicle I can just drive to a fucking show, set up a tent, and I'm driving my display to shows now.
That's convenient and smart.
And I haven't even gone, and honestly, I'm not even going legit with this stuff yet. I'm not even going as a full-time business. I mean, for Washington State, I have to get a vendor's license.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for the VA's unemployability roster, I would already have it. But I've still got to keep this stuff on a very low key level, so I don't mess up my benefits. Because until I can actually put this or do this on a level where it's sustainable. I know I am making enough to offset what going legit with this stuff will cause in a loss of benefits through the VA and my Social Security. You know, I got to play the duck and dodge game. Yeah, I'm doing this stuff, but I'm not letting you guys know about this stuff yet.
That's fine.
Now, what did you do to the? You said you did some brake lights.
If you go,
Yeah,
check them
I
out
did
on
a
there.
set-
He's got them all.
I did a set of brake lights for a Mazda 6.
Yeah, I mean, I'm TJ. I'm looking on the Instagram, but I don't
Okay.
think he posted.
No, Facebook.
No, that's on my Facebook page. It was on my Instagram story. On Instagram, I just shared the post from OBS Solutions about that tailgate, that platinum tailgate I made for one of their builds.
Oh,
And that
shit.
that tailgate was the motherfucker, because that was 2 weeks of sanding and polishing before I engraved it. And that thing was brushed aluminum when I got it. And I sent it back to them as a mirror finish.
Nice.
But these taillights were, honestly, it was an hour and a half of drawing and about 2.5 hours of cutting. And I've got people that are already talking about sending more parts.
Nice. Yeah, those are nice.
And that's just that, honestly, that's that tattoo background right there. Just, that was one of the things I did love about tattooing was I was that artist that you went to when you just come into the shop, no appointment needed. Just let me know give me an idea what you're talking about, what you're wanting to see. And I would break out Sharpies, draw on you, and give you what you need. Let's see. I know my name's spelled fucked up on this. For Facebook, you have to misspell my name to get there.
Yeah, it's you have the I before the T instead of after.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy though is like the photos and stuff you got of them are one thing, but then that video of them actually on the car
Lit up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I dropped those off on. It's funny. I dropped those off on. God, what was it? Thursday. I think it was Thursday. But it was early. It was like middle of last week. I dropped them off. He put them on that same day. And then I get back. No, I did all that on Friday. I dropped them off on Friday because I told the guy I was going to have them ready by Friday. Dropped them off. Went back to the shack. Knocked out all the design work. Got approval on that for the air cleaner or the air intake for the Harley, and got that cut in and delivered that afternoon before I called it a day. I mean, hell, for a single week, I made almost $1,000 and was able to finish up. I was able to finish up 3 projects in the last 7 days.
Did you find it, John?
Yeah, I'll check it a little bit later. Yeah. I liked engraver. I liked engraving.
Thank you.
I'm actually going to text you. I have an idea about something I want to run past you, Austin.
Sweet. You got my number? Or just hit me up on Messenger?
Yeah, I'll shoot you through Messenger. I use Messenger a lot. People hate Messenger, but I use it a ton.
I love Messenger because I get to keep track of fucking messages and oh shit, that's what we're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm gonna jump off here, guys. You guys enjoy your night. Bruno,
Take it
it's great
easy,
seeing
Stay
you.
safe.
Good seeing you.
Awesome.
Hey,
Good-
you
good
guys
meeting
gotta stay safe over
Take care.
there. You're in the fucked up part of the country, not me.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Says the guy from New Jersey West.
Could be worse. It could be in California.
I mean, Washington State's pretty unique. So, well, with that, I got a few more things I have to put in here. So, you said you're going, right, in March?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. If somebody wants to ride up with me.
I hit up Steve. Steve, I'm gonna see what he wants to do. 'Cause you
Weber?
guys- yeah.
I'll probably, if anything, I'll take Steve up with me. I'm an asshole. I have to drive. I can't be under somebody else's power when it comes to the road.
Okay, that's right. Send me you don't have my number, right, Sean?
I think I do. Yeah.
All right. If you just in case, I'll send it to you.
Yes, I got you.
All right.
What do you need?
I need your number, your email address, and your full address. So just shoot that over to me so I can put it in our database.
All righty.
And then all the guys that I have down now for the reserve list, I'm just going to have their email and phone number. So. So Scott, your last name?
Yes.
Okay. You have any relatives in the Pittsgrove, Newfield area?
I don't think so. Nah, I had an older brother who lived up in Pennsgrove,
Okay.
but he passed away.
There's a family of people with last name Scott that I know.
Yeah, no, I actually went to school with a girl named Heather Scott, but we were no relation.
Okay.
And then most of my family that I do have in the area are Rhodes, my mom's maiden name.
Okay.
So my little brother Chris lives in Williamstown. And then, like I said, my older brother's widow and son are. Oh wow! Oh wow, man! I smeared that. Pennsgrove. Yeah. So, all right. I just sent you a text. Let me know if I'm missing anything. Blood
that's
type
good.
is O positive. No allergies. Christian.
Yeah, you can keep all that info.
Any special meal requirements? Sean?
Meat and potatoes. Meat and potatoes.
Give me a shades.
Good then.
Yeah.
Is this retreat going to be you can only eat what you catch and hunt?
I really
I
hope
hope
not.
Road skills and it.
It is. I'm losing weight.
Yeah.
You got all you needed though, TJ, in that
Yeah.
text? Okay. All right, gents, I'm gonna call it an evening also. I got a lot to do tomorrow early morning. So good seeing everybody.
Yeah. Take care, Sean.
Bruno,
All right.
well, I'll see you Friday before you go to the con.
Probably, yeah. I'm trying to talk her. I want to drive down to Virginia on Friday.
Yeah, this way you're
Better.
not as rushed
Yes.
for like the
do
concert
that.
and
Yeah.
all.
Yeah,
That
do that.
sounds like a good idea. John, you have a lot more hair than I thought you had because you almost always have a hat on.
Yeah.
I wish I had that half as much hair as you.
Yeah. Yeah. When I was little, my dad called me in the bedroom and gave me a hat. So wear it all the time.
All right, gents, you all have a wonderful evening.
You too, Sean.
All right, Sean. We'll see you.
Too, man.
See ya.
Yeah, it's getting late. All right. I will
Call it a
hopefully,
night.
yeah, hopefully I'll be on Friday for a little bit.
Yeah, I'll try to. I'll see if M's up to it to come out there on Sunday.
Yeah, we got I'm gonna have to load my car up Thursday, I think. And so when I get home, all I gotta do is switch cars.
If you didn't have to drop off your wife, I'd say I'd hold on to your equipment for you and bring it out to you.
I might have to think about that one because
You're literally going to drive past my house probably to go down to Virginia.
but yeah, I'm just trying to figure out the easiest way to do it. If my grandson was old enough to drive, I'd make him go down Friday night and drive by himself. I'd let him go down Friday night and bring my car. But he's got to have somebody ride with him. He's still 16.
Yeah.
Ugh. That's okay. I'll survive.
Yeah, if you need a hand, just let me know.
She hollers a lot that I push myself too hard sometimes, but sometimes you have to a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, it does help walking around. You look like you were doing good at the car show.
Doing a little better. I mean, I only got like 40 cars out of, I think there was over 100 there.
Yes, I was pleasantly surprised by the amount of people we had come out.
But hey, we sold about 7-8 photos. I mean, that was pretty close to what my goal was. I mean, I think we did pretty good. I think we brought in a really good amount. And then him kicking 1,000 back.
Who was that?
The family sent 1,000 back for the
Oh yeah, they
next
they
benefit.
pushed it forward. Yeah. What time? Oh, what time is it? Sunday?
It is 10 to 4.
Okay.
I'm supposed to be there for 9:30.
There's a strong chance I can't. I forgot we have the event down in Vineland on Sunday.
Oh, that's the
The frisbee thing.
yep. No, that's okay.
So we'll see. I mean, maybe it's till 4. So I mean, if I go there in the morning and help out, and then because Em enjoyed going out there, seeing all the different stuff. It's something she's never been around before. So we'll see. I'll see what she wants to do.
Yeah, she seemed like she had a good time.
Ah, she did. All the people that were dressed up and seeing all the comics, and she really enjoyed the guys that brought their artwork and their depictions of the different characters and stuff.
Yeah, that's a big part of it now.
Yeah, it's really nice stuff. So, yeah, I'll let you know.
All right. Have a good one.
It was good talk. It was good seeing both of you. And
Yeah, take care.
yep, I'll see you guys on Friday.
Soon. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
See ya.
Take care, TJ.
All right. John,
Bye.
I'll see you.
Yeah, we'll see you. Take care.